The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed on Leadership Lounge Live are for entertainment and informational purposes only. They do not reflect the official policies, beliefs, or positions of any individuals, organizations, or platforms mentioned. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent research and critical thinking. Enjoy the conversation and engage responsibly.
Hey, and we are live. Happy Sunday, y'all. Welcome back to Leadership Lounge Live, where I am your host, Lewis Marshall, also known as Marshall Artistry, here with my amazing co-host, Miss Adama and Mr. Uriah. Happy Sunday to you both. How are you?
Happy Sunday. All good.
All good.
Oh my gosh, Adama, 2 weeks in a row. That was not believable. Uriah already said I can't be yawning with him. He already said I can't be yawning with him. Somebody has to have some energy today.
I am so deliciously dope.
Nah, I'm glad you guys are doing good. We've been chatting on the back end, had a great pre-show. We got a lot of updates in the last 10 days. So that's kind of the theme for this week. We had updates to Chat, Midjourney, Kling, Photoleap, Pika Labs, and more. And Uriah has got a very special, quick topic about the tariffs that took effect this week. So wanted to just talk about that from a business perspective, because some of our audience may have products that may have been affected by that. So Uriah, can you start us off with that? I know that's the big thing this week.
Yeah, so was that April 2nd? The administration announced the new tariffs, and it was really overwhelming to a lot of people, to say the least. I guess to summarize, not to go into much detail, he did say a lot, but just like some of the high level takeaways is there'll be like a 10% across the board baseline tariff on all U.S. imports and higher tariffs on specific countries, which was dubbed like bad actors. So like China is getting a 34% increase. The European Union is getting a 20% increase. And even like our neighbors, Mexico and Canada are getting increased unless if their import is in compliance with the agreement, the U.S. MCA agreement, the U.S. Mexico Canada agreement. I'm not totally sure what's included in that, but it does sound like there will be an increase, at least to at a minimum, there will be an increase on imports from both. No one really knows what that really means to the market, but it's very uncertain. And when you hear uncertain a lot, then that means it's more risk adverse. As far as like if you're an investor, you probably want to decrease your your risk tolerance until you can see like how this plays out. Um, what else is there? Do you guys have any questions related to it?
I was just going to piggyback and say, I know the market has definitely been wild all week long. There is definitely a lot of certainty there. And as a small business owner, I'm wondering, are there things that they can avoid in terms of risk? Like from an investing standpoint, are there areas of the market that you think we should just stay away from until further notice, until it's like more certain? Or do you feel like
I wouldn't even want to give advice as far as that, because I don't want us to come across as financial advisors or anything or be misinterpreted.
I got
would
you.
just say decrease the risk. And decrease means like the less risky. So if you're doing day trading type stuff, you might want to ease up on that. More longer term investments might be the bigger bet. If you got a 401k right now, you probably don't. You probably just want to bury your head in the sand. Don't check it. Unless you're of retirement age, then you're probably panicking right now. But everything is going to take a dip at least in the immediate future, and hopefully it'll level out, short term after that. And we really just have to see. We there's no way to see how this actually looks. But once you start increasing your expenses, companies are going to start cutting costs in other areas, which means it's probably going to be layoffs. Like, we just had an announcement that our unemployment rate was pretty good. That's probably going to, take an adverse effect, which means people are going to be, scrambling. So I know somebody that just like left their job and they're like, oh, they wish they hadn't been on the market right now because, people might be on a hiring freeze, right? Companies are probably just going to halt any changes and start watching that expense line because they're trying to make sure they can protect that bottom line at all costs. Like you said, small business owners, especially, like, I know a few people that like kind of flip clothing using like Shein and Temu as their, sources. Shein and Temu are going to take a big hit from this. Like, China was already on their list, like, as a as a bad actor. That's going to take a hit. That's going to take a hit where those cheap Shein products aren't going to be so cheap anymore. So if you're a small business owner, you're relying on that margin, then you're probably going to have to adjust. You're going to have to adjust your prices because I know Shein and Temu are going to be adjusting their prices if they don't just get out the market, altogether. So it's really hard to see because I don't even know if anything is fully even finalized yet. I've read some articles that said this was almost like just the first move, and then other countries can come and like counter offer and, speak to things of that nature. So even if you're like at, let's say, 34%, it might land at, 15% or something like that, which, that could just be interpreted as a cost of doing business. The administration did say, like, we went a long time without doing any tariffs, and like now we're doing it like everybody else. So it's just something to get used to, and everybody's going to have to adjust at a global level.
Well, then a lot of people just don't understand what the tariffs are about. And so former Lewis would say, hey, if you are hustling and you hustle in a specific area of your city that is close to where that's just your home base. If someone else comes and begins doing the same thing, they're beginning to sell Midjourney training guides. Yeah, on this block, I can see them. I can physically see them setting up, putting up a sign and being like, hey, I'm selling and doing the same thing. I might walk up the block and be like, hey, you got to pay me a percentage of your income to just even hustle over here. Or you got to go someplace else, any place. I don't care.
You want to do it on this block, I'm going to get a piece of that.
So view the tariffs in that kind of a regard. Hey, in order for you to make money over here, you're going to have to cut us a percentage. Like, you're just going to have to.
Right.
It's unavoidable. We can negotiate how much, but we kind of need to like reset the table.
Right.
And that's kind of how it feels in watching this play out. But I need to do research. I'm not an advisor, so I wouldn't want to say anything that would misrepresent us. But it feels that way.
Right.
Like they're just trying to hard reset the table. Adam, you're quiet over there. What you thinking? Is she on mute?
You're on mute.
I'm thinking that I'm not going to comment on that because
That's fair.
It's such a sensitive thing, and I think just the word in itself, it brings an angst to me. So, and I'm no longer, my children are now getting ready to leave out the door, like
Mhm.
quickly. I can't imagine being a parent, a single parent now, or just even a parent now, like of young ones, because just
Talk about that. What
yeah,
are
I
some of the
mean,
things that a person might be considering in that regard?
I really feel like when it comes to this, you literally have to think about, take a look at everything that you have, everything that's essential to you, and this is the time. This is the time now to, I hate to say, stockpile on it, or think ahead on it, or find other alternatives. I believe there's no such thing as a closed door. So I'm not going to let this thing that seems like a monster stop me. I would literally plan ahead, because there's a lot of things that we get from other countries. And now is the time before anything is put into place, or maybe not even put into place. It's to get what you need. Like, don't let this distract you from everything else. But that's how I would move. That's exactly how I would move.
Well, and I think that comes into to point with, hey, collaborating with local businesses, local business owners, that you can maybe work hand in hand with them. Maybe you can barter in exchange for services. There are other ways as a small business owner that you can kind of navigate around that in the interim. But it really speaks to, hey, you should start thinking about collaboration, partnership, finding other ways to do the things that you did before, just uniquely different, changing or altering your internal supply lines and supply chains. So um, me personally, I would start chatting with my chat and ask it for other alternative options. And so that ties into our next topic about the latest updates with ChatGPT. So Miss Adama, you started playing around with it last week. We kind of started talking about it this week. How is week 2 over in ChatGPT?
So I'm going to say this. The Chat GPT in itself came, I feel like all of the updates came with the mega update. Um, it opened up so many parameters for so many things. Um, not just within the art within itself. I had um, I had created, I think last week before Midjourney 7 came out, I created an animation for us to tell the difference between the two, so we can all talk about it here.
Mhm.
And I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I cannot wait to hear the opinions on it. And yeah, so I haven't really formed an opinion, because I believe to compare the two platforms is a little, it's a little, maybe I'll probably feel a little different after talking to you guys. So I would love to start that if you guys are ready.
Cool. Jen, can you toss that up for us, please?
I think I provided the prompt as well. If anybody would like that, I'm excited.
Drop it in the chat.
Yep,
Yeah,
this
drop
is,
it in the
yeah.
chat.
There we go, right here. So the prompt that's being used is a woman walking down a rainy street, neon lights reflecting on the wet pavement, cinematic mood, futuristic city. So what I did was I kind of scaled my Midjourney down and took out all the parameters, all the settings, and did it just like this. Okay. There's no lighting, there's no nothing, because I wanted it both to be fair. Okay. And so now, if everyone has that, we're going to go to the next one. What happened once I created? I created the first one for chat. So this is the version from Chat GPT. As you guys can see, I was in awe of this. Again, I have to take myself back before 7. What you can see here is that the bar, it spelled bar correctly. I even looked up the katakana right there, and it looked like it was correct. So it did give us detail. Looks like it's raining. There was some detail on the coat. I liked it. I found nothing wrong with it, but it did remind me of like an Xbox game. And so now I'm going to show you the Midjourney ones.
I like that one.
Midjourney. I knew you were going to say that.
You know, I like the dark and gritty feel, so I
Yep.
agree with that one.
Right here, maybe I probably shouldn't say that one, but she kind of looks like she's, for the streets right there.
Hey, it's the thigh gap for me.
I am done. I am done over here in the Carolinas. So this is like she's for the streets right here. But what I love about it is the grittiness. It has the reflection of the lights.
Mhm.
I'm going to say this. I put nothing in there. I told it to do absolutely nothing, just exactly the prompt that you have. And that's what came back. I didn't edit the color. I didn't do anything.
Okay, I
So-
just want to clarify. I want to clarify for the audience. So
Yes,
I am
please.
hearing you say that you took out anything that would give one platform an advantage over the other. It's just a straight prompt.
Straight.
No lighting settings, no creative adjustments. It's just a one-to-one prompt and image to image. Hey, both of these are really good. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
front.
they are.
Right. I would love to hear what you both have to say about these images. I'm just going to say, just imagine what I did. Chicken with no seasoning. Pow. Boop, boop, boop. Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. So it's just how it is. What do you guys think about?
This is the new version, right?
No,
this
Uriah.
is-
Believe it or not, that's 6. It's 6.
No, I'm talking about chat.
Oh no, chat. That's the new version. That's why I did it. That was the new update.
Okay,
Okay.
Midjourney is 6.1.
Midjourney 6.1.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh,
And-
yep.
So what do you guys think about those two?
Hey, okay, so I need the prompt. I'm about to prompt it in real time. I need the prompt. Hey, DM it to our group chat. Send it to our group chat. I'll grab it and I'm gonna prompt it in Midjourney 7. And I'm gonna send it to Jen and see if we can put it up on screen.
I know this is hard for you to do, Lewis. Please do not.
No, nothing. Just straight prompt.
But
It's straight prompt.
but it's automatically it's not fair because 7 is automatically personalized.
I mean, but you could take the personalization off. You can do that.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Sorry,
Okay.
guys, for us geeking out.
Yeah, don't mind that.
Here.
I'm
We're gonna
not
take this.
taking it off.
We're gonna go ahead and pour the geek juice and put it to the side, and we're just going to just put it. It's just plain old prompt. Somebody decided to put raisins in the potato salad. That's how
I'm weak. I'm weak. I really like the clarity in both. I like that from pre-chat update. I like that this has more detail in the background. More for me to look at on my quote unquote visual tour that I go on. So I typically my eyes will go to the brightest spot and then I'll go all the way around the picture. So the chat version, I'm instantly kind of going side to side, just watching. Okay, all right, I see the prompt. Give me 2 seconds. On the second image, I really like the reflection on the ground. That's what draws my attention most. So yeah, I like both for different reasons, honestly.
What about you, Uriah?
I like both as well. What I do, similar to what Lewis said, I like Midjourney's reflection and just the realism of it. And as a photographer, it actually captures, it looks like a photo. Chat is still good, but it's more artistic. It's not like an actual photo image. And that's why I'm partial to. I'm partial to like things that look as closely to real and like a photo as possible. Not saying that if it doesn't is bad. It's just that's my preference. But what I do like with chat is its spelling. Its words
Yes.
are
Click
getting
on it.
crispy. Like,
Yes.
and like you
Yes.
said, like it even said bar and was that
And
Mandarin or
Katakana.
Cantonese or
hmm
whatever.
hmm
If it said bar, if it was accurate in that as well, I'm gonna give that hands down.
It
I'm
looks
a
similar.
Yeah. So from my perspective, that's really good. And even from my testing of the new one, it gets like full complete sentences in different parts of the picture, perfect. And that's I think is the biggest update with it is that it's getting the text correct. I really wish they would have increased resolution because although this picture is good, if it had been had more resolution in it, it could have really went head to head with Midjourney.
Okay, so
Um,
I got a quick, let me
mhm.
follow up. Uriah, sorry, Adam.
No,
Uriah, so could you clean it up in the editing process, post production, quote unquote?
I mean, you could, but I don't think you can
mm,
get it. You can capture something that's not there. Like if it was like blurry, yes, but like it made a great artistic image. So like it's hard to reverse the artistry of it. Cause like even if you see the silhouette, like yeah, I mean, if I put a few hours in it, yeah, maybe I could do something that brings it to life. But then it's not. That's a whole different job. Like I just made a whole different image.
Okay.
So
I'm going to
is
agree
it
with Uriah on
impossible?
that.
If is it impossible? No. Is it worth doing? No.
No, no. I messed around with it because I wanted to see. Again, you guys know I'm a researcher, so I messed around with it to see if I took it to a higher scale of editing on sharpening and the definition and the noise. I did all that, and it just made it look blah. Like it made it look like I needed to update my glasses. It was not.
They need
So
to increase their resolution. Like you
I,
can get a better image without increasing the actual resolution and quality of the image.
but we're speaking on the terms of the update from where chat came from to where it
Mhm.
is now. So now chat is going to college on the art spectrum. And I'm still not, so I'm going to say this honestly. Let's be honest, okay? To compare chat to Midjourney on the art level, okay, is unfair. It's completely unfair
Right.
because Midjourney has been doing its thing for a minute, and just not just that. It's also because Midjourney has it's giving you, and we'll go into that way later. But Midjourney is improving on its detail, and for chat to do that, that's kind of different. But chat does excel overall for what it's doing because now it's not just a personal assistant, it's it's bigger than what it was. Okay, but let's stay on track. So let's go to do you guys have anything else to say about these two images before we go to the next?
I I like both. I'm
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm there. So I am in Midjourney version 7. I'm at 95%. I'm about to send this to Jen. Adam, you keep going, and I'm just gonna save this Foursquare and send this over, and we'll revisit.
Okay.
I would have co-signed with what you just said, Adam. Like
Yeah.
chat is entering a different category that Mid
Yes.
Journey isn't even able to do.
Yes. And it's almost methodical what chat GPT did, because what people don't seem to understand is just like with Studio Ghibli. I think is that what it's
Yeah,
called? I always
Ghibli.
say it wrong. Um, what this update, and from what I've researched, they're literally opening up all these parameters, but they're they're going to literally cut a lot of them off. So you still need to know the basis of it. Basically, do not become codependent on what chat is giving you right now. You still need to have some
Right.
type of knowledge on how to attain what you need with it. I
Well, and
mean,
I think it's also like use case. It's also use case. Like, how are you using it? Like, I don't use chat from a creative standpoint, but from a productivity standpoint, oh, I love it. I'm using it often, but I use it in the areas where I need it versus creatively. Hey, help me retailer this. So, like my video process, yeah, I'm talking with my chat often. It's like a director for me, but I don't use it necessarily to create images. But looking at this, a business owner could use this to create quick content to market a product, a new service, whatever that looks like. So I think that from that perspective, if it got bar right in that image in two languages and one on both sides of the street, that's pretty impressive. I'm not going to front. And that could be very useful for someone in a lot of different use cases. So I like that.
I was on a couple of other forums, and I was reading about it. It blew my mind because people were like, "Oh well, okay, this is me imitating somebody. Okay, I don't know who I'm imitating. Oh well, Midjourney did not do the text words correctly. Okay, dude, that's not what Midjourney does. Midjourney will literally put a pimple on your face to give you more realism, you know?
Yo,
So you cannot compare the two with that. And Chat did a really good job with the OCR. And the OCR, if anybody doesn't know, that's optical character recognition. So it's literally you can put a whole paragraph and put it on the infograph and it will literally get it right. Now, if you give it too much words, it may have like an extra Y or extra T, but for OpenAI to do that, that changed the game on many platforms for like Canva because we
Yeah.
would everybody knows if you were in this AI game as long as we all have been, I want to say I've been in it for like 2.5 years. And I know the other two have been probably a little longer, but if you've been in the AI game, remember how hard it was just for someone to do a tutorial to figure out, I just want to change baby, and it keeps giving me an eye, and I don't know what to do. Okay, that's
You
me.
can't even say happy birthday. Like it
Oh,
couldn't get the
happy
words.
birthday. Happy birthday.
yeah, facts.
Okay. But we know that we could have went to Canva or Adobe and it will erase the letter and we could put it back, but we still won't get that big glow effect or those sparkly words. But Chat literally is doing it. And I don't know if anybody today I posted a Sunday image. I generated it and told Chat, please generate the word Sunday behind this image. And I want it to be glittered and I want it to be make it as minimal as possible. I didn't need a lot to it. It did it. It did it.
Nice. So
Okay, let me
more
Yeah,
post that.
time
the
to
the the level of accuracy in the text is by far the most impressive I've seen
Most impressive.
in I guess in forever of the history of all of the AI that we've been experiencing. The
yeah.
level of accuracy on separate levels, like even just in your image, having the bar spelled correctly on a bar neon sign on one side and have it spelled correctly on the other side in a different language accurately. I created something that had text in four different areas separately, and it got all four areas correct in the right style. And I'm like, whoa, that's a game changer. Cause like you could make a whole comic strip now. You can
Yeah.
make memes just on the go. And this is something that I was trying to do earlier and it wouldn't get the words right. So I'm like, I'm not gonna use it for that. I'm gonna use Adobe, like what I what graphic designers say you should be using anyway. You're not a real designer if you're not using, Photoshop,
Right.
Illustrator, and you're just a Canva person. But like now, ChatGPT is if you're a Canva person, like you're getting replaced now. Like you're like as a graphic designer, if you was a Canva graphic designer, chat this version is if it hasn't already, it's about to replace you
Yes.
in the
I
short
mean,
order.
yes. It really is. It really
I
is.
noticed. I noticed.
It
Hey,
really is.
Jen, can you do me a favor? Throw that image up there so that they have a version 7 reference for Miss Adama's prompt, please.
Lord, look at the sexiness on that. And that's
I
for
didn't
7.
change anything, no aspect ratio, no parameters, no personalization, raw dog.
That looks good. I wonder how it would have looked if you used that draft they were talking about. Y'all, I'm obsessed with that draft. Anyway, but that looks good.
Yeah, we gotta get there. Ooh, girl.
I tried draft, but draft just makes a lower image, a lower
It
quality
does.
image, so you could ideate. I think I would have loved to have draft when I first started with
Mhm.
Midjourney. I think if you're coming from chat and going to Midjourney, draft is going to be great. I've already programmed in my head what I want, so I usually don't have a lot of like variations of what I don't usually have to have a conversation because I'm not used to having a conversation. Like I'm used to coming to the plate with it. But I think if you're coming from chat going into Midjourney, this draft is going to be a game changer because you'll be able to have a conversation more so than you were before. But it's going to give you a lower quality image that
It
you
is.
can then upgrade to the next level.
Yeah, you click the image that you want,
Right.
and then you ask it to you click the image that you anyway, we'll go into it. Y'all, we need to focus. We need to
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna hold my question. I'm gonna hold my question.
Put the ADHD back in the bucket, y'all. Stop. Cut it out. Okay, so here we go. So then okay, so I'm looking at my okay, so then I think I did 2 images of each one. So I do want people to understand that with this new upgrade, if you ask chat to give you 2 versions, it will literally give you 2 versions. You don't have to go in and do it all over again. I know they look a lot similar, but there was a reason for that because I put it to motion. I animated it. So this was a little different because it has the thunder in the back and in the far back. And now the street's a little bit more clear and it remained consistent. I don't know. I should have probably sent it where there were 2 where you could see the consistency. So it was pretty consistent. And I was very happy with that. And I need to also say that I still didn't have to correct the spelling at all. And I did this probably a total of 6 times because I wanted to know which one I wanted to use for animation. And it kept the consistency. And then we have the Midjourney second one. And this is all from the same batch, okay? So I didn't do, so this is from this, you know, how you get 4. This is from the same batch. So then it gave me a scene. And I was like, okay, she's for the streets. And I mean, she's like walking. Yeah, I wanted to tell her put a coat on, you know, but whatever. And it still looks good. Not edited, no color. I didn't go in and put anything in. And it still looks good. I love the puddles and the street lights and the definition of the rain. What do you all think about these 2 images?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, nothing else but that. I love this.
So let's get to the dirty. We love to move things over here in Leadership Lounge. We don't want no dead image. Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Get over dramatic. So let's do the first. I want everybody to sit back and cut off your lights and watch the first image of of chat when I put it to motion. Dude. What the hell is that? Do we want to watch it again? Yes, I love watching that. People awesome. What the hell is that? All right.
I
Okay.
like it. I like
Thank
it.
you, thank you, thank you. You know, I was not gonna let it come to the party with no sound.
She said,
You
what
know,
the hell is that?
yeah. What the hell is that? That was actually me at the end. What the hell is that? But I loved it. I loved it. I thought instantly of. I used to be a huge gamer, so I instantly thought of a trailer like Xbox. I.
Mhm.
What do you guys think about that one?
I
I
like
liked
that.
it. I liked it. And I like you like it was from the image and it continued. There was no
It
like morphing,
continued.
there was
It's
no
that.
changing or any of what did you use for the animation? Which platform?
I think for that one, because I did both one on Luma and I did one on Kling. I think I ended up using the Kling one. I think I used
Okay.
Kling on that one. And then I wanted, you know what? It was like itching for sugar. I wanted to go to Adobe and clean it up because I saw some extra things I didn't like. And I was like, don't you do it. Don't do it. It's gonna be a little ashy.
It's
Don't
just
do
knee
it.
jerk reaction, right? Knee jerk
Yes.
reaction.
Yes. But I did do Adobe for the sound effect.
Nice.
Okay. And our awesome director, could you please roll number two? And everybody get your popcorn. And this is with mid.
Boom.
That was
You gonna make her for the streets for real, for real.
number
That's
two. It really
crazy
for the
work.
she was
That's
like,
crazy work.
listen, what? Listen, she was so hard for the streets that the truck came. She was like, and what? You
Hey,
mid.
she's like not even gonna get out the way. She's just,
No.
hey, you better drive around, fool.
Right.
You see
Listen,
me
she was like,
walking.
my feet hurt. My feet hurt. Did you hear how hard my feet were hitting them pavement? And I
I'm
don't even
this
care about this
deep.
truck.
this is the prime example of why you want a high resolution image
Yes.
because you're going to get more from the video. When you have more data to play with, AI can play with more data and it knows exactly how to play it. So when you look at that one, you have way more depth. You see the
Mhm.
light going between her legs, you see the truck pulling up, and you could just see that depth perception. Whereas on chat, it was a cool image, but the lightning looked like it was almost right in front of her. Like there was
Right.
not very good depth perception with that because there wasn't enough resolution in there for Kling to take that into consideration to
hmm
make the video.
And
Mhm.
yeah, I just, you know what? And I loved it because it, again, the only thing I can compare it to is remember back in when we played the PC games or Xbox, PlayStation, that's what the chat generated for me when I animated it. Like it was a short clip to the story for the game.
Like Resident Evil or
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
Don't play with me. Halo. Halo. I'm a Halo girl. So, Yeah, I'm a Final Fantasy girl too. I got all the books, cheat
But
codes.
that style of
Yeah,
movement.
it was that style. Right.
Mhm.
So that's what you get with that. And I'm not saying I didn't like it because again, let's go back to when chat was eating baby food. Okay. Go back to chat with eating baby food. And but this time, I mean, it did pretty good. So I would love to hear what my awesome team has to say about D2. Like, I have my own opinion on it.
So I I really like that the image quality is getting better. And if I'm thinking about it from a linear perspective, it's not going to get any worse than we have already experienced in terms of AI and the creative ability. We've already experienced like newborn status, if you will. So as we're progressing along, I think that OpenAI is really starting to put it together.
Mhm.
I think that it's less clunky this time around from an image perspective. I think there's more clarity, there's more depth. I think the resolution is where they're not quite there yet. But I think that's a work in progress. And I think that there are other ways that you can make the creative design tool work for you a lot faster. And I think you guys touched on really the reason why is because of how accurate it is with text. You're spending less time on having to redo it and recheck the spelling and redo it and recheck the spelling. I think this upgrade from a productivity standpoint is really very good. It's
I would
gonna be
agree.
it's gonna
I,
be a great thing. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I would agree with that. At scale, I think it's worth it because, like, although the resolution isn't there, and I always harp on that, that doesn't mean it's not usable, right? That means you can use it at scale with accurate wording. If you got that, then you could just throw it in an upscaler to bring out everything else. Like, it doesn't have to be crispy from the beginning. And if we're just posting it to social media anyway, like, it doesn't have to be that high scale. It doesn't have to be that high scale either. It's just once you try to do it on like a level where you need the resolution. So if you're putting this a print, then you got to throw it into an upscaler. Or if you're using for video, I would throw it into an upscaler. So like for that chat image, I would like to throw it into an upscaler and then do the cling and see how
Mhm.
that look and see how the video would match then. I think if that happened, then we would be having a bigger conversation of like which one was better.
Ah,
I definitely didn't do any transition. Okay, so I will say this. Because I had tested it a couple of times, the animation for chat was smooth. There was no static. It was smooth. If you want to do it and not, of course, I hate that I'm going to say this, but I get it. You know, I believe in investing in yourself. But if you want to do it and you don't have a lot of editing things that you can do, chat was really good for the smoothness. Now, the Mid Journey, it did give me some static. Um, and so I think I end up, no, I didn't do anything to it, but if when it went from day to like, well, midday to like night,
mhm,
there was like a
mhm.
little bit of hesitation with it. And, but that's just me being picky. That was just me being picky because, you know, we do it a lot. We do a lot of animation. And I just wanted, yeah, it was just weird. But Mid Journey at that point, because it's so realistic, it did give some static, whereas chat did not.
We gave you other stuff to look at. Is what I'm hearing also.
It's
Because the
too
mid
much.
journey image, I was looking at the lights that were both to her
Yeah.
left, right as
Mhm.
the truck's coming at her. So I thought about the initial transition left because I'm like, or at the beginning because I'm like, hey, you could just clip that off.
Mhm.
Just
Mhm.
my editing brain is like, hey, just clip that off, just
Mhm.
completely get rid of that, and then roll with, hey, her stop, walking and then stopping, and this truck getting closer to her. My editing brain is also like, hey, throw some keyframes on there and pinch and zoom so that it actually enhances the experience for the viewer. But that's
Right.
like post production. The base video was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good. What I wanted to do originally though, after I saw that, and I had wrote the truck into the prompt for Cling. Um, I had wrote the truck into it. I was originally going to take the clip, like how you go back in time. I was going to rewind it and then fast forward it and then keep it going to where it looks. Now you can see you don't know what's going to happen to her with this truck. But then I was like, no, Adama, please stop it. You need to give a clear perspective of what is what. So this is what happened with the two. So again, in this moment for me, I don't believe that we can compare the two because it's unfair. But Chat did take my image. This is what I found interesting from Midjourney, and it did a complete replica of it. Stole Midjourney. It stole it.
Mm.
That's what it did. It stole it because it was not able to generate that on its own, but it was able to copy my image. It took it twice, but it copied it to the T.
Interesting. So
Mhm.
for I'm going to speak from the perspective of someone who might be newer and is just getting their feet wet in with regard to images. You're saying to me that if they put their image out, it's possible for someone else to just throw it in chat and take it.
I'm not saying it's possible. I'm saying Chat gonna steal it.
I
I'm
didn't
saying
want to
Chat
kick
like
their back in, but I'm like, hey,
Gee,
we
that's
have to be kind of objective about it.
that's harsh wording.
Chat said, "You eat it, I'ma eat it." I mean, what? I mean, what do you guys want me to say? Okay, let me be
You eat it,
diplomatic.
I ate it.
You okay? So you want me
That
to
part.
you want me to turn on professional Adama? Is that what you want? Because I know you don't like that. I'm gonna turn on. So basically, if you put it into Chat, Chat will duplicate it.
She's giving you office Adama, Uriah.
Duplicate it.
Hey, she can't stand you, bruh.
I am.
I'll say it.
On
I'll
a
say it
side,
this week.
on a side note,
Whoa.
Adama told me to
How did
say
that come to
Uriah,
me?
can't
How did that come to
stand her.
me?
Stand him.
How did that turn to me?
Yo, because you know she's gonna say it at some point in this episode.
He
You
made
know it's gonna happen.
But it wasn't even me and her at it.
it.
Wait, I just get thrown in there.
Louis be wanting it. Louis be wanting it.
Louis, you I
wanting
think
it.
you starting stuff now. Like we were
See?
doing good.
We were doing
No,
good.
hey, no.
We were doing good. He came and he instigated it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He pulled a Chat. He pulled a Chat. We were over here mid-journeying. Oh, I did it.
Uh-oh.
I did it.
Things were fine.
When he brought out the Darth Vader voice on me, all right, I'm done. You win. You win. You win.
So basically,
You win.
this.
You win. I quit.
I'm going to say this one little tidbit, Louis and Uriah. I want you guys to know something. There's been a big debate about people, taking art. I'm going to say this. If you know that your art is what it is, once you put your art out here, it's out there for everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
And I like seeing my name on my stuff. So that's why I put the little water print, even though I know people could take it off. But Chat, the new upgrade, it literally will remove your watermark.
Mm.
You know the thing that was really interesting, like with the whole Studio Ghibli thing, I thought they had a parameter in there that like you can't reference an artist within the last 100 years.
That's what I thought too.
And now you can reference an entire studio like willy-nilly. I don't know, like what I don't get it. Like I don't know how that went from.
I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but I love all of his, this God. And people y'all gonna leave here thinking like, yo, does she just geeking her whole time? I do. So I love his work. Ponyo, Moving Castle, all those different things. And I can understand what he's saying, but I mean, if Chat wanted to put it back on there, they could put it back on there. You could still.
What was he saying, Adama?
He was basically saying that he worked really hard to develop this type of style. He's the one who came up with that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was getting ready to, literally, he told his son, I will completely disown you. I worked so hard for this. But
he would disown you for what?
For selling, I think he wanted to sell the artwork. Like anybody can use it. Anybody can use this artwork. I don't want to tell you guys something incorrect, but I do know that he gave his son the, I guess, power to have the artwork, whatever the name of it is. I keep messing it up. And his son then immediately retracted people using that art style. But it's, I mean, chat or OpenAI can still use it, but OpenAI does not want the wrath that comes from it.
Yo, so that's
Period.
what I was talking with you about,
They don't
Uriah,
want the wrath.
yesterday.
So
And
Yeah.
that's why
basically,
they were
big
already afraid of it, of the wrath.
yo,
That's why that's why I'm like, I don't understand what they're
but there's
doing.
other
Like,
apps using it. There's other apps. There's other. I think there's other like. Is
well, I
it?
mean, you could do it. You've always been able to do it with Midjourney. If you put any style in their style reference, you could replicate that style of your image. So I
Facts.
was not totally, just because you could do a style by verbally typing it didn't really appeal to me, because we've been doing that. Like
Right.
we've been able to do that.
Well,
Okay, but hold on, Evan. So I wanna ask this open-ended question, and if you're in the chat, I want you guys to answer this as well. Allegedly, hypothetically, let's say that OpenAI has damaged Studio Ghibli's brand by allowing people to create it on their platform, them and others, not just singling out OpenAI. But the damage has been done to the brand from the person who came up with it can't get the same value out of that style per se. What is their recourse? How does he fix that? How does he rectify that? Because OpenAI is going to say, allegedly, hey, we didn't print the pictures. We didn't create them. We didn't prompt them. And they click the terms of service.
And they didn't profit from them.
yeah.
So how do they rectify Studio Ghibli? How do they rectify this? Hypothetically, allegedly.
Because the
Studio.
cat's out of the bag. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to
You can't
happen.
fix this.
It's not like, oh,
Yeah.
you need to stop doing it. That ship has sailed. It's out there. It's
Right.
possible. And even if OpenAI doesn't do it, I got like 3 sponsors on my page that's showing like it's a different app that will do it.
That will do
Oh.
it. Exactly. At the end of the day, again, when it comes to art or anything that's open to the public, once you put it out there, it's
Mhm.
out there. You have agreed to put it out there. Granted, you don't want somebody to outright copy and like outright, that's stealing. But if
But
someone
people would say
mirrors
this is
it,
stealing, right? People
but if
people
someone
can
mirrors
argue.
it and just changes change a little bit, then it's out. I mean, it's out there.
Okay, so I got an example of this, and I want to try and be respectful and not use any names. So early in my AI journey, I created an image that I printed on a one of one print that's on my wall. It's in the living room. There's only one. I showed a picture of me holding the artwork. A person that will remain nameless took that image and began to produce a work in progress on their social media page. I happened to see it and I'm like, I wonder where he's going with this, because he probably doesn't even know that this is my actual AI piece of artwork that I printed, and I actually have the one of one on my wall currently. So I reached out, hey, nice job on what you're doing. I appreciate the artistic expression, but I need you to not like sell it, please, and thank you, respect. And he responded. We had some dialogue back and forth. And it took a little while for it to come down, but it didn't come down until that it went from work in progress to for sale. Hey, bro, I need you gotta take that down. I'm running a business. We are in the same industry. of how we do our artwork. So hey, I just need you to please and thank you. Please
See,
Mhm.
Lewis
and
did the
send this,
hustle,
hey, but
Lewis.
send the screenshot of, hey, look, yeah, I have this at my house right now. There is no confusion. This is my work. Thankfully, respectfully, he took it down. All of it, the whole thing. But trying to do that at scale is not feasible. It's just not feasible. And so from the beginning, we have internally, as Unleashed said, hey, if you don't want it out there, do not post it.
Right. That
Don't
part.
post it. You
That
That's
just
part.
just
cannot post it.
that's the number one rule. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't want nobody to steal it, do not post it digitally.
Don't.
Digital is going to get copied and reproduced,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's just the way it is.
Even this stuff, like just because it's on a product doesn't mean somebody can't actually
Right.
copy it and duplicate it. It's
And
really, really hard to keep your artwork safe.
so you
That
basically
it,
gave him an
it
informal cease and desist
yeah,
on like the professional level, on the
yeah.
corporate level. It would be a cease and desist, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
also, if you made money on it, then it would be like a lawsuit. But
Uh-huh.
then that's where we get into trademarking, right? Like
Right.
Mhm.
Studio Ghibli, like Studio Ghibli is not going to go after OpenAI because OpenAI probably didn't make money on it. They're going to go after the people that's making money off of it
Right.
because you
Bingo.
could prove like your likeness is way too close to my likeness and you made money off of it. You owe me money. And that's what it's going to really come down to as far as like actually reaching out and getting recourse at scale. It's not just a bunch of, content creators posted it on Facebook where it's like, nobody cares because like what are you going to sue them for, like the
Right.
the
The six
$3 that
cents, hey,
Facebook
the
might have
six
paid
cents
them.
that I made on this.
So then it'll be Facebook on the hook, right? Because Facebook essentially is making the money on it, whereas but they have us as if you're monetized as a contractor, so they don't have that legal recourse. Like that was just a contractor, I didn't do anything, and I limited what he can make from it. So then the content creator is pretty much at total uh, liability for that. But at the same time, what are you going to get from a content creator that's making $6 for, for
Right.
it? Like, so then it's more so taking it to the people that's taking that and scaling it at a level that they're actually making serious money off of it. And at that
And
point, you're pretty much claiming that you're
Right.
Ghibli, and that's
and
definitely
now you're talking about the creators who have put that artwork on a product, and now they're selling that Studio Ghibli image on something that they put it on, whatever, a
But
shirt.
here's the deal. It's kind of hard to, what they can do is they can go back and look at your prompt at the end of the day. I mean, you could say things
Mhm.
like, I'm not telling people how to do it, but you could say things in the likeness of. I mean, but it's just a big at the end, and also it's also a big mess because they're both two big people. Well, OpenAI is a source, but they're two big,
Entity.
yeah, they're two big, and so people, so Studio Ghibli was like, just don't use it. That's all I'm gonna say. Case closed.
Right?
Because OpenAI is a big, it's big. I mean, so I don't know.
because think about like Disney, right? Disney is at a point where like their images are their assets, right? Their likeness. And they even have it, we're talking about at the very highest level, right? Where
Mhm.
I remember when I was trying to make a princess like invitation for my daughter, I made it, and when I went to FedEx to print it, they was like, "Oh no, that's a Disney character. We can't print that, right?" Like it's at that level. When you're at that level, like you cannot, nobody can profit off of a Disney character.
Right.
Hey,
I think that has expired since like maybe like last year, but for the most part, you do a Disney character, Disney gonna want they cut and they coming after you, right? But that's at the highest level. We're talking the same the same thought process, but at a lower level. But we're also talking at scale too, where we had so many people were making Ghibli images that Sam Altman even said, "Hey, can y'all calm down? Can y'all
Right.
relax? Like y'all doing too many images. Our people can't even keep up." But what are they doing with those images? And
That-
that's what Ghibli is going to have to pay attention to. Their legal department is going to have to pay attention to that. Like, okay, y'all can make it, but y'all going to have to give us a piece, right? That's what it's going to come down to, where it's like, we can sue you because it's not about what you put in your prompt. It's not about that. Your likeness is way too close to our likeness. And if
Mhm.
you pay attention to like copyright laws just in the music industry and everything in the entertainment industry, that's what it comes down to.
It
Is
sounds similar. Looks
right.
like
Yeah, it
could be.
looks like this, even though you said it's not. That the way it plays out looks very similar to how ours play out. The thing is that we haven't been down this AI path, so now we have to like take a step back just to see what that's going to look like in the courtrooms, right? Because the judges aren't going to be like, we're not going to take this case by case. They're going to see the holistic level and try to like make a decision on where this scales out to, because it's not like everybody style has to be protected when you could replicate it 1,000 times on any platform, where it's so easy to replicate. There's no way for you to protect that style that much.
At
So
the end of
like,
the day, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It's not even worth it. Like, just leave it alone.
but
You
like
know?
it's trademark. Like if you make something, you have to trademark it
There's a lot of
almost
things out there
immediately.
for people to do. There's
But
a
the
lot
thing
of
is, like,
things.
you can't trademark it
Does it say AI?
over a long term. Well, you
Yeah.
can. Like, if you put a prompt together and you edit it down to a style that's that differentiates you from what it was originally, that can be your piece. And granted, I'm not trying to give legal advice, but I'm just saying, like, the way things go is that no matter what you take down, if you edit it enough away from like its original source, you can
Mhm.
trademark that. It
Right.
has to be differentiation from the previous,
Mhm.
but because just like with AI, they said you can't do it. But as a photographer, that's just like any photographer law, right? If I take a picture, that's my picture. It's your picture. Whoever takes the picture, that's the ownership of that. However, if I take your picture and I edit it down to where it's past the likeness of yours and it actually changes the entire aspect of it, now it's my asset. Like I've edited it and now it's a different asset. It looks totally different than that. It gives off a different vibe. It looks different. It's received differently. Now I've enhanced that or altered it to a point where now it's my asset. So that's that's the pattern that we're about to go towards with AI across the board, right? Because that not just in art, just in every industry. Just like think about just in coding. Like what did Bill Gates didn't Bill Gates just released the coding of original Microsoft. He released the source code for anybody to use. I don't know, like Windows 95.
It's
Like
over. It's over. Yo, don't get me started.
it's
Don't
over,
get me
but at the
started.
same time, why did he do that though? Because this is the same thing that's happening, right? People used to be able to hold on to that source code
But you
and that's
can't
your
anymore.
asset. Now that source code can be used as a launching point for something else.
Mhm.
So what are we gonna do then? Like, what can you trademark that? Can you trademark like a Microsoft source code and alter it enough where it's now it's yours?
I
Uh,
don't
interesting.
I don't know anything about that part, but I do want to talk about Midjourney 7 before
Yeah,
we
let's
go
we'll
there.
Let's
piggyback
go.
I
on.
am mad, y'all, because I'm the most crunkest one with the ADHD over here, and I'm the one that's trying to ring it in, right?
No, you got it. You got it, sis.
I'm
You
not
got it.
talking about
You
this.
got it.
I mean, this is all that training. This is all that training that Lewis Marshall be giving me.
There we go. There we
I'm trying
go.
to ring it in, y'all. We're gonna do a trademark show one day. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Michael Jackson 7. Oh, look with the Michael Jackson laugh. Let's go.
So, did you both get a chance to use it?
Stop
The new
playing.
Midjourney 7? I know you did that.
No.
Uriah, did you?
Yes, sir.
You
All
put some
right.
on Uriah.
Jen, I'm gonna include you in this. Did you? Oh yeah, she nodding and smiling. Okay, so I oh you gonna womp her? Damn,
My
homie, damn, homie. She
my
said,
bad. My
He
bad.
I can't stand Lewis. I can't stand him. I mean, come on.
dang. Nah, okay, so towards the middle of the week, we had an update to Midjourney, and we finally got a version of version 7. They're
Yeah.
calling this Midjourney V7 Alpha. I started playing with it on Wednesday, which was my work Friday, so I stayed up really late. I really like that it gives more clarity. You have more photographic results, like high quality photographic results. I played around with a prompt, some old prompts. Jen, can you throw the image that I sent you up on the screen? And I'll walk them through kind of what I did. So I went ahead and prompted for just something unique, different. And I thought that this was a really good image to start testing, where, like Adama said, we'd like to make images move, become animated through AI videos. So I thought this would be a good something to test and sample from version 7. So I took and put this image into Kling AI. I prompt engineered something to make this image move. I just wanted it to move to kind of see, hey, how does Kling respond to these new images? This one is kind of unique. It's very surreal. So I just want to know what will it do? So as you can see, some dynamic movement. It's very slow, but when I sped it up in the video, it actually sequenced together very nicely. But as you can see, Kling made this move and stayed cohesive. The person didn't change in terms of morphing into anything it wasn't supposed to. So I felt like those were pretty good results. So I took that and a couple of other images that I took from that and one other image, and I put together a quick 30-second video. Jen, can you throw that up on the screen for me, please? All right. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah,
Co-host, what y'all think of that?
I did Ashley. It was good. It was good.
No, that was dope.
It was really good.
That was dope. I really like the image itself was pretty hot, right? And it was very artistic, where it has a lot of accents, a lot of smoke, a lot of dripping. Where I love that the video captured that without making it look like it wasn't a part of that image. It really brought that image to life, and I really think that's part of like the V7 increased default resolution settings, right? So if you have been following Midjourney from like the way they do their releases, when it goes from like 4 to 5 to 6, they're like their number point oh is usually the alpha. The actual version is like point 0.1 or point 0.2. Like 5.5 version 5 went up to like 2, version 6 went up to 1. And now we're at 7. So they're going to be playing with it a little bit. Then they're going to go to 7.1, and that's going to be where our sweet spot is. But I really loved how it brought all of that dripping of the smoke, and it like really animated that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love that. I love it. I love the realism. I love it. It was. I can't. You're right. I took everything I wanted to say. I loved it.
She's like, Ryan, you went first, dang it.
But no.
Or
Yeah.
your style with the color. Personally,
Oh, you
I
know
know
I love
that's
the color.
and I know that in the chat on the watch party, the person that I really was thinking about when I picked that image is Kid Yaya. She's like all about trippy, drippy art. And so I'm like, hey, I'm gonna tag her in this when I get done. Because this is really her style of just drippy, trippy art. So I want to reiterate that it is really, really important for you to learn how to prompt, how to come up with a framework that's your own. So I put together another quick slideshow. This one's about 3 minutes or so, just to kind of recap what we've talked about over the last couple of weeks with regard to my framework and how to prompt engineer specifically in Midjourney. So Jen, if you can take care of throwing that up on screen, I appreciate you. Course of the last maybe 3 weeks that gets anybody who's a newbie to prompt engineering and generating their own images an opportunity to understand how I do what I do. So I know that on our Unleashed AI group, most of you have got this down pat, but this is really meant for the other individuals that are coming into contact with our group, as well as some other individuals who have reached out and said, hey, I just need a little more context on what, how, why you do what you do. So that's really going to be the goal for today. So with that being said, I want to jump into the content. So when a couple of weeks ago, we started talking about how I prompt in Midjourney and what the structure really looks like. And I gave a full breakdown of how I prompt engineer for the type of imagery that I create. So the first is media quality. And for media quality, that's me articulating what type of image that it's going to be. Are we going to do an award-winning artwork or a cinematic scene? It's me giving the command of, hey, I'd like to start here. The next thing that I get into is the image type. And you heard me just a minute ago say artwork. That's the one that I use most often. I'll start my prefix of my prompt as an award-winning artwork or an award-winning portrait or an award-winning close-up. This is the way that I'm articulating to Midjourney because I'm a Midjourney user. Here is where I want you to start in terms of the image type and the media quality. The next thing that I get into is a description. Hey, is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a thing? This is the way that I'm able to begin to identify the detail, the level of detail of what kinds of things that I really want to be included in this image that we're trying to generate. The next thing that I get into is an art style. Now, I have a couple of videos where I've outlined in this part of the process, I am not restricting that art style to any specific section of the prompt. I may put it in the beginning, I may put it in the middle, I may double or triple it up. I will put in the styles of, I don't know, Dreamcore, I don't know. You could go Dreamcore, Dark Synth, and Deconstructivism, and you could say in the styles of all three of those and give either ChatGPT, whatever your image generator is, the creative freedom to begin to explore those art styles or aesthetics. That way you get a more unique, tailored result. It doesn't look like everybody else's. It doesn't look blah or bland. Let me know if that makes sense. All right. So, everybody in the chat, let me know how you feel about that. Is that something that you resonate with? Do you have ways that you do this a little differently? I think this is a good opportunity with this latest update for us to kind of share ideas on what works best. I see Kim, shout out to Miss Kim in the chat. She's saying that, hey, she's experiencing Hey, B7's pissing me off. It keeps making my black women old, angry women. But that it's also changing the age as well, that she has to massage it, but that she'll get there. So it's like, hey, I gave a quick suggestion. I don't know if it'll work, but we're all kind of testing in real time together. So if you haven't already, I would encourage you to definitely subscribe to our Leadership Lounge official channel. So that's where all of these old episodes, like what you just saw there in my presentation, that is from episode 27. So Jen and I looked last night. We were talking about this in August last year, y'all, and March last year, and January last year. So there are a lot of episodes and resources on how we can kind of help each other. I would suggest go back, take a look at episode 55, episode 50, episode 48. Those 3 episodes are more up to date, so they'll give you more context on how all of us are kind of doing what we're doing, not only in chat, but also in Midjourney, and now also in Kling and Sora. So I would encourage you, if this is something that you're interested in, get tapped in. To my co-hosts, what did you guys think about this presentation? You got to see some new visuals on that whole video.
Yeah, I'm you, Adam.
Yeah, I can hear you. Are you there?
Go ahead, Uriah. You already keep up with the momentum. You've been going first. Go on. I'll wait.
I was all ready just to let you go first.
You're weak.
No. I'm good. I'm ready to be second.
She's gonna close us out. Uriah, how you feeling?
I'm so distracted. You got to repeat the question.
Okay, so how did you feel about seeing this video that I know you've seen probably a couple of times, but it has new visuals, like stuff from this week from Midjourney V7 that I made move. How did you like seeing that?
No, I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I think that's what really distracts me, because like Adam said, we all got ADHD, we all get easily distracted. So I'm looking at it and it looks so cool. And I just immediately started like contemplating like the next move and thinking about how to make more videos, and knowing where that was an older video of you talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of your older videos, but you mix it in with a newer video. So I'm like, all of this can like coexist. And also just how to think about each of these versions and the models. And we have to start looking at when AI updates, it's not the same as when like our thought process of when like an application updates.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when an application updates, you have the application and it updates, and you're really just filling in the blanks and making it a little bit stronger skeleton of the same one. When a model updates, that's like a different formula. So that's why we have to retrain it for what we want, because you're no longer talking to the same person. Basically, you're talking to a different, and I'm not trying to humanize AI, but you're talking to a different model. When you talk about model, you're talking about an algorithm that's been trained and formulated to do a certain thing that was totally different than its predecessor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like we're going from iPhone, 10 to 11, where it's just, filling in the blanks, enhancing the camera, and it's just a couple of big, cosmetic upgrades. We're talking about upgrading actual methodology. Like we're upgrading everything to do the normal function a totally different way. And it could
Yeah.
be better, it could be worse, it could be, but it's a different way. So each update, when we think about like AI and its the model updates, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 of like M Journey was one way. Then Mid Journey 5 like took us to another level. Then 6 took us to another level. And
Mhm.
now 7 is taking us to a level that's kind of combining all of them together. Because I mean, there's only so much realism you could get in a picture, right?
Right.
There's only so much realism. Like, other, I mean, unless it's in your face, like you talk about holographs, like emerging in front of your face, you're not gonna get much better than an actual photograph. Where I think that's where it's at, but it's also taking into account everything else that we used to have to prompt for, like it's automatically doing the resolution that you used to have to prompt for Q2. It's automatically taking into account the the realism that you were looking for when you had to put photorealistic. It's just automatically doing that, and it's doing it based off your personalization setting. So now when you're prompting high quality for you, which is going to
Mhm.
give you the best outcome that you could possibly really have, right? Because it's like it's your personalization setting based on the highest parameters and accurate. It said it's gonna do the text accurate. I'm still on the fence on that. We'll see how that goes,
Very
but
chill out.
the actual photography aspect is definitely there.
Hmm.
No, I like that. I don't know. What about you?
I like what you did. I like that you were already talking about it before it came to fruition. So I love it. I will say this about, remember, I think we had this discussion yesterday. I felt like this new Mid Journey 7, it should have been a, it should have been characterized, it should have been placed in V6. But as they told us in big words, Mid Journey 7 is not done yet.
Uh,
So if you're trying to learn Mid Journey, now is the time to get onto it, because it's, like you said, you can also go back to episode 27 on Lewis's part where he explains it so well. But what I was also trying to say is that this version is not done yet. So what they gave us right now is it's like Uri said, it's focusing more on photography, realism, shadowing, depth. And they're saying that they're going to release more in the upcoming months. So I would take the advice that you just gave earlier. I would tell anybody who's new to Mid Journey, it is still being worked on for this new version. And the difference, one of the major differences with V7 is that the personalization is off. You have to go in and literally cut it on. Whereas in with 6, all your good stuff, all the good stuff that you're used to is already there. Even the boards are different, but and they're you can understand the boards more in V7. I will say that part. But this is the time to learn Mid Journey, because I feel like what Mid Journey said to us is, "Hey guys, we're learning as you go along." So that's what I felt like.
yeah.
Like we're
Hey,
learning as we go along, and we
see,
put it out, and we put it out because Chat and everybody and their mama wants to come to the picnic.
hey,
And
it's that. Hey, that's what I'm at.
yeah, and
I
so
I feel like, and again, this is my personal opinion. I feel like chat was like, okay, all right. I mean, Midjourney was like,
yeah,
okay, chat, hold my beer here.
yeah,
You upgraded, okay, here. Let me just get this out of the way right quick and just establish that, hey, we're here, and we see you guys coming. We observe it.
yeah,
Kudos to you, nice job. But we'll see you at the finish line.
right.
Is what I feel.
Let me
It's
ask you
like
guys,
everybody's
It's on a professional level. Like
it
very much.
is.
it's doing everything by default, and the output is at a professional level where you could take that and put it on a print. That's the
So
thing. Like, there's no upscaling that you will have to do, and it's already there. Like, you know me, I told you before, like, I never post anything without editing in post, right? I take that,
Mhm.
but it's producing stuff now where like I don't feel
No,
like I
I
have
feel-
to
uh,
because it's putting it in the default image where like
Mhm.
I might hit auto or I might hit, you know, I might still do a little bit, but it's not like a full blown tweaking because it used to produce very dull images,
Yes.
but it had the resolution so you could always bring it out.
yes.
Now it's by default is bringing it out, and I mean it on a professional level is going to save people that are making high quality images save at least 10% of their time.
Okay.
I
So,
oh, I got go ahead. I'll wait.
okay. Because I'm going to circle back to what you were talking about earlier. So, the other major update to version 7 was they've added this new drafts. And I
Mhm.
haven't personally played around with it, but I watched the YouTube channel Curious Refuge and I sent the video to Uriah, but he was like using it very closely and similarly to how you are using chat like a design tool and having the conversation back and forth. What I was watching and how I was watching him use the draft is like that capability where
Mhm.
he's voicing, hey, let's have a black and white picture of a man drinking coffee in a coffee shop. Okay, make it at golden hour. Okay, have him facing the other way. Okay, add in a girl. Okay, have them happy and smiling. And it's like in real time, just
Yeah.
changing things. And the speed at which it was changing things was like, oh, you're going to be able to really use this more like a design tool, especially when it comes to having consistent character references whenever it comes to version 7.
Please.
That, that's going to take it a long way.
But that draft it's meant to also save you money with
Yeah.
the
Because
with
it's half the
Midjourney.
cost.
Yeah,
It's
it's
half the
meant to
cost.
save you money because if you have to re-script your prompt, that's what it's meant for. And then it would literally, because I like I said, my friend was playing around with it, and it said that the draft reminded them a little bit of how Leonardo um it flows, but you can literally take it and you can add it's a draft. But it's supposed to save you money. It's supposed to save the consumer money as well. You know.
Yeah, it's
So
because it's you get charged half the amount
right.
that you
Hmm.
would for a full blown image. So that's why I said from the beginning, I really would have liked to have this as an option if I first went to Midjourney. And I
Yes.
think it's a really good option if you're coming from chat going to Midjourney because
Mhm.
then you could start ideating. You could start, you know, brainstorming to get the image that you want at the fraction of the cost versus spending the the full blown amount for
Right.
each image where you spend a full blown amount and you're losing all your money. Like you pretty much have to you have to pay a whole month and lose it because you're learning, right? So now it'll cut that down. So I like that. I wish they had did
I
that
like it too. I
earlier.
like it too. I do
Okay,
like
so we're about 10 minutes from end of show. I want to just get and reiterate. So we've talked about briefly about tariffs and how that's going to affect some of the business owners and things that they should look out for. We've talked about chat and the update, both from a productivity standpoint as well as from an upgrade to their imagery output. We've talked about Midjourney with their update on the image side and now on the productivity side with drafts. The one con that I want to just throw out there for feedback is that in Midjourney, I've lost the ability to do two things that help me be more productive. One is, hey, I'm no longer able to use my character reference. So I have to, right? Say that again. I'm no longer able to use my character reference. It's not available. So it means that I have to prompt for my character or for Old Man Marshall a little bit different. So it means that I have to spend more time on that process. The other thing that I'm not able to do currently is I can't permutation prompt either. So that, right? Hold on, say that again. I'm not able to permutation prompt either. So no character reference and no permutation prompting. So now I'm back to, okay, I need to prompt like I was a newbie again, where it's just single prompt, single image result, quality control, next. And then we got drafts. So that speeds that process up. Hey, let me brainstorm these ideas really quickly. But it is a con from a productivity standpoint, not being able to do those two things. Just me personally, for how I prompt and do my ideation, as you say, Uriah, I just like to permutation prompt. It's easier for me to do it that way because I get a more wide variety. And I want my character to be in there consistent so that when I make these videos, my B-roll looks consistent. It makes it really hard to do that if I gotta jump back to version 6.1. So, Midjourney, I hope that you guys will get us hooked up. I know you said updates every 2 weeks, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what comes up next. Do Uriah or Miss Adama, and I don't care who goes first, do you guys have anything for the audience that you want to leave them with this week? Oh, hey.
I was muted because I was trying to respect the process of what he was. That's, thank you, Uriah. Anyway, so I will say this for anybody who's trying to get into animation, and I wonder what you guys were going to think about this. Midjourney 7 is now the time to do it because it's now giving you that cinematic, realistic lighting, everything that you need. And it takes a lot of work that you had to do in version 6 out. That's what I've noticed. So I want to say if anybody wants to start out with animation, this is for me, I think a sweet spot to do it at, especially as they roll in these updates. What do you guys think about that?
Agree. It's a good time.
It's a good time. It's a great time because right now, everybody's learning as we go along with this Midjourney part, and I really feel this is the time for anybody who wants to do animation. Step into Midjourney. It's a great time. Version 7. You have to go in there and you have to switch it over. I think you have to switch it over. That's all I have to really say. And and stop.
You're not gonna tell them where they can find you at?
Oh, my
She's
fault.
like, I'm done. I'm done. And she's like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Okay, you can find me on our lovely director. She put it right there. There's my link tree. And if you're looking for creativity, help with storytelling, you can contact me. You can also contact. I have a page. I'm on all social media. And what did Kim say? No, who said that one time? Somebody said it. Google me. You can find me because I will be there. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Shout out to my subscribers. You guys are awesome.
Yo, so Mr. Uriah, what you got for the people? Where can I find you at?
You can find me on my Facebook page, LinkedIn page, Uriah Muhammad, or my link page that pretty much links all of my services and past productions. or just want to reach out to me directly if you want any advice. Just like I spoke about the tariffs. If you want to talk about actual business advice, I give those services as well. Yeah, hit me on the link right there where she posted it right on the page. Hit me up.
All right, I got one last thing. Jen, can you throw Mr. Leslie Blair's link up on the screen while I'm talking? So all of the music that you heard in the videos today from me are from this gentleman right here. That is Mr. Leslie Blair. The music that you hear for our theme music, that is Mr. Leslie Blair. Although he's not here with us every week, he's here in spirit. We appreciate everything that you do for us on the music side. For me, you can find me at my Facebook page here. My name is Lewis Marshall. I am also known as Marshall Artistry across all of the social media platforms. So you can also find us there. We've got some prompt packs that are still being developed that are coming out this month. We have a tribute to Black History free prompt pack at our website at marshallartistry.com. So if you want to dip your toes in the creative lane of prompt engineering, definitely tap in. You can get that free prompt pack. There's probably about 50 prompts or so that are uniquely tailored. You're not going to find any others like this. But if you did want to shop some other prompts, we also have those on our website as well. We also dropped a cinematic chat training guide. This is my way of how I train my AI video chats. I say chats plural because I have more than one, but that's kind of the instruction on how I get it to do what I get it to do with regard to breaking down ideas for AI video. You can also find this show on Leadership Lounge Official on YouTube, as well as on my Fanbase Plus. Those are the two places that you're really going to be able to find these episodes going forward. I do see that Facebook has started to deleting the ones that are older than 30 days. So we're starting to redirect people to those two areas so that you can find all of the old episodes. Again, my name is Lewis. I very, very much appreciate everybody for being here, spending your Sunday with us. And with that being said, I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing week and go create something amazing. We'll see you guys soon. I will holla. Peace.
Peace.